It's America's Stupidest Podcast. Think NPR for Dummies. This is the McGonigal Podcast. Over to you, dummy.
Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the McGonigal Podcast, America's Stupidest Podcast. We're back. This is episode 36. Imagine 36 of these things. God help you too. God help you too. But we're back. We're going to have a great episode tonight. Got a great panel tonight. Two really funny comedians on my right. Roger Weaver is here. He's back again. Thanks, Roger, for coming out. Sharing on my left, great comedian and co-host of the Drunken and Gaming Podcast. Back again, Jason Hazelwood. Thanks, Jason, for coming out.
Thanks for that.
I appreciate it. All right, well, I guess we'll get right into it. Last week, we had our long national nightmare. Jimmy Kimmel had a 5-day paid vacation. It was awful, and somehow we survived that. Did you guys still over the shock of Jimmy being a paid vacation for 5 days? Did he recover from that? Is everybody okay?
I think I'm going to make it.
Yeah. We made it for 5 days.
You start giving everybody 5 paid day vacations, we'll lose our democracy, for God's sakes. That happens. Thomas Jefferson said, if he knew people were getting 5 days paid vacation, that would be awful. How can we survive as a republic? They keep giving mediocre comedians 5 days paid vacation. This is awful. Thank God. Thank God they came to their senses and got him back. Nobody even noticed he was bad. That's how many viewers he has. Right. But he's back. Thank God he was back. What did anybody actually? I mean, I hadn't watched Jimmy Kimmel in a long time. You got deep guys? Are you a regular watcher? Maybe on YouTube the next day or at all? I don't know what
You're the only one with like real TV that watches things live, right? Like everybody else you're streaming too, right, Roger?
No, I'm more along the lines of that, but I don't watch like him though. I haven't watched like the late night show since like Letterman, basically. So, other than a couple of clips on.
See clips on YouTube. I mean, this was a danger to the republic. We were told Jimmy Kimmel had to take 5 days off to pay. Oh, it was awful. We were gonna go in and socialize or something. I don't know what was gonna happen. Poor guy had 5 days off his Beverly Hills house.
I think unless, like, even in the old days, like, unless there was somebody you really wanted to see, and did you care, like, and you care even less?
Oh, I used to watch Letterman just for Letterman. I'll be honest with you. But nowadays, there's no point. And if something happens, you could always catch it on YouTube the next day. So this whole thing was. But I mean, the way they were carrying on, you thought this was the end of the country. This guy was going to be off for a couple of days.
You work on making care packages.
Yep. I wanted to make sure his kids were okay, but that Beverly Hills house, who knows what was going to happen. And we were living up there in Hollywood Hills. What was going to happen to those poor kids? But thank God he's back. And now that he's not suspended, nobody even going to think about him again. They should have just let them alone. Nobody would even notice that they hadn't suspended him.
Or kept him off the air, and he would get much more attention. Just like when they put Rose in the Hall of Fame, you were not going to, it's like more attention from not being in the Hall of Fame than he did for going in the Hall of Fame.
They did Jimmy Kimmel a favor. Now when he leaves there and goes to Netflix or somebody's place, he's going to be hired. He actually raised the price by making some kind of martyr. When they canceled Pat Sadia, he wasn't a martyr. Nobody canceled him. Never made him a martyr.
And if anyone deserved it, it was him because he got replaced by Seacrest, right? But they got
See, I'm talking about Pat Sadia had the talk show. I remember when he had a talk show, pretty talk show years back. I'll talk. Chevy Chase went away. They want martyrs, so nobody came. Jimmy Kimmel was going to get some big deal. And Howard Stern said they call it the magic hour because he makes the ratings disappear. But I mean, now when Kimmel goes to Hulu, he goes next, he's going to get big money because it's a big thing. So they did him a favor. But have you tuned in since he came back just to see what was going on? No.
Same thing. I was like, I did not watch it, but I saw I was trying to avoid some clips of him like being choked up and crying. So yeah, I've seen that, but yeah, I didn't watch the show again.
Yeah. And the best part of it to me was they replaced it the nights he was off with Celebrity Family Feud. Have you ever seen Celebrity Family Feud?
I have accidentally seen Celebrity.
There's no celebrities. There's literally, the most famous guy is Steve Harvey. You know, these people don't know anybody in the Celebrity Family Feud. I go, where's the celebrities? I kept, where's Nipsey Russell? Somebody
Brett Summers.
Somebody I would recognize, for God's sakes.
You're looking through the family going, which one of them is famous? There's 5 people there. One of them has to be somebody, right?
Exactly. I mean, Steve Harvey must be pissed. He wants somebody to suspend him so he can get arranged. I mean, it's Celebrity Family Feud. Well,
Isn't he on like 6 different shows?
Oh, the guy, Steve Harvey. Nobody works like Steve Harvey.
Yeah,
he must not sleep.
No. Although I heard don't you have a new podcast?
Oh, the sports podcast.
You're expanding your media empire.
Yes, because enough people won't ignore me on this podcast. Right. I have a sports podcast called Just What We Need, another Philly sports show, which these two combined, it's a juggernaut now.
That's the trend, the media consolidation. They get bigger and bigger, the entities.
I'm going to be the court jester of all media, what they call me. But Jimmy Kimmel, replaced by a show that even less people care about, Celebrity Family Feud. I don't know what they better replace it with next. That God only knows. Ashworth in Paradise, and God knows what.
Well, I think they had to be careful not to put something on. Like if they would have put on reruns of MASH or something, then the ratings would have gone up. Like they had to make sure.
I'm not sure what Celebrity Family Feud they might have still gone. But a bunch of those shows are going to be gone, right? Because CBS already said that they're ending the late show. And so eventually I think they're going to get rid of all these late night shows. I'm wondering what's going to, I guess that maybe they'll just give the time back to the affiliates, and the affiliates are on. I don't know if you remember this, Roger, when we were younger, Johnny Carson was on NBC, but CBS and ABC kind of almost surrendered at some point. And like the time was given back to the affiliates in the local cities. There really wasn't national shows on CBS.
Right. I remember things like the ABC. Late Movie or something, but
the $1 Million Movie used to be on Channel 6. But then Nightline came along. But in the 70s, there really wasn't anything. It was like everybody had local programming opposite Johnny because they weren't going to be Johnny. So there was no point. I mean, they tried. CBS had Joey Bishop and ABC had Dick Cabot. Then they threw the towel. And I said, well, that's what I think is going to happen.
Well, if you think about it, you don't need, Colbert has Ed Sullivan Theater and, $30,000, professional TV cameras and all these professionals and unions and all this. And now you can set up in an old laundromat and
exactly
that should be condemned, and just a couple of iPhones and you can create something that almost as many people are going to watch. So what's the point of having an orchestra and all that?
Right. I can't see those late shows being around much. Even the Tonight Show, even though it goes back to the 50s, they're still probably going to get rid of that too, I imagine. But it's just funny. They made a big thing about a show that nobody was watching in the first place. That is pretty funny. Well, neither of you guys got booked on the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival?
Are you on that?
I had to turn it down. They only offered me 60 virgins, and I said I'm holding out for the 72, and I never got a counter offer. But the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival, is that hilarious? They would actually, and they got big names. They got Chappelle and Bill Burr and a bunch of big names to go over there.
By the way, quick, your agent gets 10% of those virgins.
Oh, there you go. That was a big sticking point too.
How do you get 0.2 of a virgin?
Well, the Saudis know.
Oh, they'll cut somebody's arm off or something. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it.
I heard that Shane Gillis isn't doing it. I heard
Shane Gillis said he turned him down. Then they come back with a bigger offer, and he said, "But I thought I can't do that because I already turned it down. So I had to stick to my principle of turning it down." Right. But I was thinking that the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival, it's the only time where the comedian bombs on stage, he won't get yelled at by a Jewish club owner. That won't happen.
Right.
And if you have any jokes about women drivers, they're going to kill. They're going to kill at the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival. I guarantee that's a great place for it.
I think it's great that Saudi Arabia has become this bastion of free speech.
Right.
Like if you want to speak your mind, you go to Saudi Arabia, clearly.
I wouldn't go over there because principle is that I'm a pussy and I would be afraid to go to Saudi Arabia. I mean, they wanted to send me money to perform here. I take the money, but I would be afraid to travel over there.
Would you not do like a USO show? Like if you got offered
it depends on where it was. If it was the Middle East, I don't think I would. If it was like Germany, Japan, that kind of stuff, Korea, where we have bases, yeah, I'd love to. I'd be afraid.
If there's Asian women there, Ed's going to go.
I
mean, book his flight now.
Of course, but I would be afraid to go to the Middle East. I'm not going to lie. I'd really be afraid to go over there.
I would think that that this would be less scary, like going to the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival.
Yeah, I know.
Because the whole government is protected.
It's not a lot of freedom.
Yeah,
you know.
and Saudi Arabia is pretty tight on their security. Yeah, I get, but I don't know. I'd be afraid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a coward. I don't think I'd go to the Middle East.
You perform at the Desert Inn, the Sahara, the
Oh,
sands.
of course.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm holding out for the crazy leprechaun for Pickleman again. I think he's gonna middle me next time. But no, I wouldn't go to Saudi Arabia. I mean, would you be willing to go over there for Saudi Arabia? I would love to do a USO show, but just not in Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East.
Yeah, I would love to do a USO show.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'd love to do any show.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
But I would do a USO show, absolutely.
I mean, I performed one time. We did a show right after 9/11 up in Fort Dix, and it was a lot of fun. So I'd love to do something like that again, but I'm too much of a pussy to go to the Middle East.
Right.
I'm not going over there.
I'm not turning down a lot of shows for financial reasons, for principled reasons, for any reason. Basically.
No. They wanted to say, direct deposit me the money and I'll do a show over here. Fine, I'll do that. I'll take that Saudi money, but no, I ain't traveling over there. That's it. My luck, I'd be the one comedian who actually gets blown up. I know my luck. I'll jinx the whole thing. I'll be sitting next to Bill Burr and I'll get Bill Burr killed. With my luck, so I ain't going over there. But that's amazing. Why is Saudi? They just want to get in on everything, right? They want the golf. They live golf. They just want to get. They just want to get their tentacles at everything, right? And wasn't there something about football? They were trying to get somehow involved in the NFL. Were they trying to get a game over there? Something they were trying to get. I forget what it was.
Yeah, I could see that.
And the NFL, the way they turn money down, they're probably going to say no. They literally take money. If Al Capone was alive and he offered, the NFL would take his money. They wouldn't. The NFL doesn't care. They're the only league that didn't miss a game during the COVID. They played all 16 games that year. Everybody else had shortened seasons. The NFL fucking played. But it's safety first. It's safety first in the NFL.
They just got involved in the gaming world.
Oh, there you go. Of course, they get involved in everything.
Electronic arts went private today. $55 billion.
That's there you go. And if you lose on a Pac-Man, the whole thing blows up. Is that the idea? That the whole machine blows up.
And my mic was off, so let me repeat that.
Oh, your mic was off.
Electronic Arts announced a $55 million deal to go private with Saudi Arabia investing.
Yeah, they're trying to get in everything, but I couldn't believe they got all these big comedians to go over there. That was amazing to me.
Well, what it's going to be is they're going to become the heroes. Like if they buy media, then all of a sudden the movies they're going to be the good guys. The video games they're going to be the good guys.
Of course, that's right. They don't control the narrative. That's a great point. Of course.
But you're surprised that they offered the big money, or that the comedians
went over there.
You're really surprised that they took the big money. I'm not that surprised that if you threw a bunch of like zeros and a check.
And it's a shitload of money. It really is a shit. That's why I guess. But comedians, of course, are whores. So of course, I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Right.
But some of those guys have already made money.
Sure.
So you know what I mean, like Chappelle and Bill. But I guess once you're a comedian, you start thinking back to them open mic days, and you start thinking, you know what? I never thought I'd get this kind of money. Fuck it. Or maybe I'm lying. Maybe I would go. Fuck, who am I kidding? Maybe I would go. So the big announcement yesterday, I see if you're as excited as I am. Bad Bunny is going to play the Super Bowl. The halftime, Bad Bunny. Roger, could you sing some of your favorite Bad Bunny songs for us? Sing a few.
I can sing my favorite Bugs Bunny songs, but I can't do any Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. You a Bad Bunny fan?
I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, but it was really surprising. Like when you're talking about like the NFL, like you think they'd be a little more protective of.
Well, what they were saying was he's really popular internationally, and NFL's trying to reach out to the international audience, so that's why they're having him. Because I thought the same thing too. But then when somebody made that point, I said, "Oh, of course, that's why they're having him."
But he's also very left to center.
Oh yeah,
it's very after the whole Puerto Rico is a trash island thing.
Oh yeah.
Like he really lost his mind.
Well, he didn't schedule any American concerts on this tour because he was afraid that some of his fans would get arrested by ICE going into the arenas. He said, I'm not going to be responsible for that. And so, but as soon as somebody made that point, they're reaching out to the international audience. Well, of course, that's why that's exactly why they want him.
But it's going to be super political. You'd think
probably think. But
I guess I didn't know that it said that was an aspect of it. Because I was thinking, I'm hearing people, after last year, a lot of people typical old white guys saying like, I don't get it, I don't like it, I don't watch the music, I don't watch halftime anyway.
Who-
I thought they might go to some sort of
Yeah, well, you're right,
the
but
pendulum swing the other way and
but
take
they-
like some country rock.
but they
like,
already got them. They already got the old white
True.
guys. They're already they're
That's
trying to
very
get
true.
the international. The
Yeah,
old white
and I
guys
get
ain't
it. I
going
get
anywhere.
that.
They're there.
From that perspective, I guess.
But I was just hoping they might have a rock act. Like I've been hoping for years it would be the Foo Fighters. I would love to see the Foo Fighters. Yeah. Or Green Day. I would love to see it. Well, some people made the point though. The Super Bowl's in Santa Clara this year, right outside San Francisco. And Metallica, they all live in San Francisco. Would have been a natural to have Metallica, and they've never had them, but I guess they want the international audience. Metallica, that would have been fine. We'll watch that.
So can we put you in charge of booking the Super Bowl
Right.
halftime?
Put me in charge of that Foo Fighters.
I'm not an expert on Super Bowl booking, but I don't think they go local. I don't think the fact that they live there really has anything
No,
to do
it's-
with booking for the Super
But
Bowl.
they are icons too. It's not just a local
Right. No, I
band. It's
understand. That. I'm just
Metallica.
saying, they live right nearby.
But it is Metallica. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
No,
legendary
I know
rock
people
band.
I know would definitely love that.
Yeah, but to me, I was always hoping the Foo Fighters would get it, but I guess they never will. I mean, it's amazing to me, and there's some other, well, a lot of other rock bands have done it, but I guess the Foo Fighters and Green Day or Pearl Jam, like did Pearl Jam do it? No.
I don't
No.
think so.
Red Hot Chili Peppers did it one time, and the Who and the Stones,
Springsteen.
McCartney, I think Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, I think.
Yep.
Springsteen did it. Springsteen was great the year he did it, but I don't know. I guess this is what who did it last year? I can't even remember.
Wasn't it Kendrick Lamar?
Oh, it was. It was. Yeah, that's right. It was Kendrick Lamar. That's right. And people were complaining that's right.
Right. That's kind of what I was saying.
Didn't
I
they
thought
do-
they'd go with like some country.
Did he do a
person.
political message? Or I'm forgetting now. I'm getting
Not
old.
really. I mean, there had a
memory's-
lot of like, it was weird with a lot of like dancers
Yeah,
in like, a car on
okay,
stage.
right.
And people were just saying like, I don't get it.
Oh, that's
right,
what it
like
was.
with
That was
yeah.
Drake. It wasn't
Yeah.
political. It was his beef with Drake.
Yeah.
Of course, And that didn't scare the old white guys off. Nothing is. If Kendrick and Drake beefing at halftime doesn't chase your uncle away, nothing will.
Right.
Bad Bunny might. I think Bad
Nah,
Bunny
they
might,
got the old white guys. The old white guys who like football, they ain't going anywhere. They're
Right.
in.
They'll just complain about it on
Mhm.
social media about the halftime.
But they'll still watch the
Yeah.
football. Yeah, nothing gets the chase of the old white guys over football. It's
No.
amazing. They might boycott other stuff, but they will not boycott football. And if NFL knows they got you by the balls, and you ain't getting
and
away.
they'll put on Bad Bunny,
Yep.
and Kendrick Lamar, or whoever
Yeah.
the hell they want. 'Cause
Yep,
they know.
it's amazing. If I've said this before, when Trump said that about how he could shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue, and well, the NFL actually could shoot somebody and they wouldn't lose any fans.
Right.
They actually could do it.
Yeah.
The NFL, it's amazing. What an empire. The NFL, Jesus. So I was reading about, we'll change it to something more happy, a strip club that's having a biscuits and gravy night. And what it is, the dancers roll around in biscuits and gravy. Like I guess they used to roll around, but they roll around in biscuits and gravy. Now, is this something that would get you, like naked women aren't enough to get you in the building? You have to have snacks. Yeah, they have delicious side dishes. I heard that. I was like, who's saying to themselves, I was going to stay home tonight, but now that the girls are rolling around in biscuits and gravy, I'm going down.
Right. I was more
Who's-
interested when I
who was
thought that
this
like
for?
you would be eating the biscuits and gravy and watching. I don't want to
No,
watch them
it was
rolling around in
biscuit-
biscuits and gravy.
I
No.
did one time back in the late 80s go to spaghetti wrestling at a strip club one time.
I went to see coleslaw wrestling
Nice.
for the coleslaw queen of
What-
like
what-
Central Florida.
Strippers?
Yeah,
Was
like,
it here or down
It
there?
was down in Florida,
down in
and
Florida.
it was like bikini, and they were going to be the coleslaw queen,
Wow.
and it was just like it was all about degradation, right? Like that's what that really comes down to.
Yeah,
is,
I guess so.
like we want to see how much we can. It's a very like 90s, like biscuits and gravy just sounds like a very 90s.
It does. When I went to see the spaghetti wrestling, it was the joint that's at it used to be at Bustleton and Philmont. That was a strip club. I don't know if it's a regular bar now, but it was a strip club back. I think it was Visions right at Bustleton and Philmont, and they had a spaghetti wrestling. The girls were all over there. And I was back in young and drunk, and in those days, and we actually went to see spaghetti wrestling, which is insane, but we did. But I mean, I guess maybe guys down south like this that like seeing the strippers rolling around in biscuits and gravy. I don't think I would actually like that.
No.
I can't. I'm too old to go to strip clubs anymore, though. I mean, when the dancer starts calling you pop, you can't go anymore. You just
Right.
can't go to a strip. I mean, I haven't been to a strip club in years because I just think I'm too old. I'll be embarrassed walking into a strip club. When you be embarrassed walking into a strip club at this age a little bit?
I guess, I mean, I probably at any age, but
More so. The girls
more
are
so now.
young.
And yeah, I'm just against the whole concept of like sex and food. Like, you know, I'm not whatever.
That is weird. I'm not,
Titillation and like
I'm
food
not going to
involved,
say it's
I'm
not weird. It is weird.
That's not
Well, I don't
my
think
thing.
they're serving the biscuits and gravy.
No, but
afterwards,
it's
are they?
still weird to seeing people rolling
Right.
around.
I'm just saying it's not like appealing in the same way as like watching like naked women. I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
see naked women covered in gravy. That's not, you know,
But
I'm not, maybe Bill Clinton does, but I don't, you know, that's not my thing.
maybe I mean, at my age, these girls are young enough to be maybe my granddaughter. Some of those girls, and it's just too embarrassing. You can't, you know. And remember when you were younger? I don't know if you'd see the old guys in the strip club standing there.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to be the old guy in the strip club. I remember seeing the old guys and thinking, "Wow, look at that guy." I don't want to be the old guy in the strip. Which, not that I haven't thought about it and been tempted, but I
Right.
didn't think
Like,
no.
You don't want to go in and feel bad for the girls. Like,
I
you know,
think-
when you're
Right.
8, 19,
Right. That makes sense.
it's, you know, it's one
Exactly.
thing, but now you're like,
Now
like
I
you
would.
said, they're the age of like your daughters or your granddaughters, and you go, oh,
Yeah, exactly what I would. Yeah, you know what? Pity is not a good emotion in the strip
No.
club. Nobody wants pity in a strip club. That doesn't make for good tips.
City-free zone. Yeah, you know.
Pity. And when you're trying to hand a girl a sweater, that doesn't go well. That's not appreciated.
Yeah.
That's not appreciated at all.
Right. You're giving them like a nice shiny coin. 'cause
Yeah,
you're-
exactly. You're handing a girl Werther's original.
Yeah.
Would you like some candy? That's not good. Nah, nobody
but
wants.
maybe that's the angle to work. Like maybe the pity tip is the way to go.
Maybe,
you know?
maybe. But the bad thing was the girls would think I would have money and they'd be sucking. They didn't realize I don't have money. That would
Right.
that would make it doubly bad. I'm the old guy and I'm cheap. That would really be bad. I was reading about over in China. They have a new thing now, public toilets. On the toilet roll dispenser, they have like a screen where they show ads. And you have to wait till the ad is over before they release the toilet paper. So you're sitting on the toilet and you have to wait for the ad to be over before they release the toilet paper.
Wow.
They started, of course, they do in China. That figures in China. They want communism for the people and capitalism for the government. That's what China is. But
Sure.
would you want to, if you were in a situation in a public bathroom, would you really want to sit through an ad? I mean, that's the last thing I'd want to do. I'd want to get my toilet.
Well, it's really a captive audience, but to me, it's like in the tradition, like we have the same thing here. It's just here, it's like for a good time call. It's like scrawled into the wall of the
Right.
stall. It's not like a formal ad like that someone's paying for.
But
I'm saying
you can
there's
read
similar,
that and get
similar
your-
things
you
we
can-
have in our culture.
You can get your toilet paper at the same time. You don't have to wait. to
Right,
read
you don't
it.
have to wait for it. That's true. That's true.
That's pretty bad. That really is holding you hostage.
If you had to read the whole limerick before you
Right.
got the toilet paper.
I mean, here in a public bath, I'm just impressed if there is toilet paper. Like I'm not.
In China, you're right here. You're right. That is awful. That's the one thing. If you run into a public bathroom, you better check first before you sit down, because that could be a bad situation. If you find out there's no toilet paper, that's a bad spot to be in. Be in a Wawa bathroom and there's no toilet paper, you don't want that.
like the old Johnny Carson days where there were live reads.
Yes.
Like the guy will be outside like, I've got the toilet paper,
Yeah.
but I have to tell you about car insurance
Right.
first.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe I read that. I mean, now there's ads, pop-up ads. You can't even go to the bathroom without a pop-up ad. Good Lord. I mean, it is getting bad. And we got our pop-up ad scheduled soon, don't we, Jim? Hopefully try to get us. I know we got big sponsors want to get on this podcast. A lot of really, all the big companies want to get here.
Get on the gravy train.
The gravy and biscuits train with the strippers. So this past week, I don't know if you saw this, some people thought we were going to have the rapture. Did you read about this? They thought the rapture was coming, and then they were pissed off when it didn't happen. But were you guys sitting home waiting for the
Are you
rapture?
sure it didn't happen? Because
I
I'm
didn't-
thinking I wouldn't know. Like the people I know would not have got sucked off.
I didn't see any
Right.
clothes laying on the ground, because apparently they see the rapture.
Oh,
The legend
right.
is you go right up naked and you
Yes,
close
and
your
you
left
see the
hand.
bodies ascending.
Right. And I didn't see any clothes laying around. So I figured it didn't happen. And somebody said you have to be outside. Like if you're inside, it doesn't work.
You just keep getting banged against the
Yeah,
ceiling.
I love to know who made that rule. Who made these rapture rules? You had to be outside and you end up naked. I mean, it sounds like something for some HBO shows. I don't know what it sounds like. But I remember one time, this is around 2012. Do you remember there was a whole thing about the Mayans
Oh,
predicting
yes.
the end of the world?
Mayan calendar.
And this one woman I was working with at the time, she called out that day because she was positive it was going to happen. So she called out that day. Then when she came back to work, she was pissed because she expected the end of the world and she wasn't happy coming back to work. And she was this woman who she didn't miss days. I mean, she worked every overtime. She didn't miss, and for her to call out.
Well, at least she didn't like tell everyone to F off and, forget you and so long suckers.
No, but I forget who she told that. She must have told somebody else, and of course it spread like wildfire. All you have to do is tell one person some stupid thing like that. I imagine these people sitting around waiting for the rapture, just thinking it was going to happen, and then be.
It shows how out of touch I am, because I heard about it, but I didn't hear about it until after it was basically already. It didn't happen. I didn't even know it was supposed to happen.
It was spread around.
I hadn't even had a chance to get packed or anything.
Well, I don't pack. Because they're just taking you up.
Right.
But
get my affairs in order. Let's put it that way.
You'd want to groom, do
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
man grooming. You're going to be floating around.
Yeah, that's
naked
true.
all
You would,
Look
but
your best.
it was like wildfire on social media that the rapture was going to happen, and people. But I don't know. I get a feeling something like that happens. Nobody's going to know about it ahead of time. It's going to be a surprise.
That makes sense.
The element of surprise is going to be sprung on you.
It makes more sense that there's just no such thing as
Well, that I didn't want to get into that, but yeah, that makes way more sense. I didn't want to totally get into that, but yeah, the rapture. I wonder, but that is funny. It was like the ending of The Sopranos. Everything just went. It was a big disappointment, and biggest disappointment since the last episode of Seinfeld. The rapture. What a disappointment! The rapture didn't happen. Did you guys read about the Conjoined twins? The Conjoined twins. The two sisters. The two sisters are conjoined twins. They've been in reality TV and stuff in and out for years. Yeah. Well, one of them just got married. And now the big question is, how does the one who got married have sex? Because her sister, she's conjoined with her sister.
And they're pretty girls, right?
No. They look like Rhea Perlman. They look like Rhea Perlman. It's like two Rhea Perlmans together.
Okay.
That's what it looked like. But now it's the big thing. How does the one sister have sex with her husband while the other sister
right, because it's hard to get their undivided attention.
It certainly is. It certainly is. It's certainly hard to have any privacy. I don't know, but it's the funniest thing. And this dude, I thought I was desperate. I mean, you're marrying a girl with two heads, and the one only one likes, and the other one doesn't like it that much, and
they both talk.
Yeah,
that's the big problem. Right.
Exactly. I mean, there you go. There they are. There's the husband.
Okay. Yeah.
There's that woman.
Yeah, there's
actually I might have insulted Rhea Perlman. I apologize to Rhea Perlman. Rhea Perlman, I look better, but
there were two before that were joined
facing
in opposite directions, and a similar thing happened where one of them got married, and I can't imagine.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't.
I'm amazed that they actually are still alive, and they got to be in their 20s now, and they're still. This just tells you what used to be. They had a real short lifespan.
Right.
If you were Siamese conjoined twin, they call them now. Siamese sounded better, but if they used to be, you had no chance, right? You couldn't live long. Now, I guess with medicine and science, you in your 20s. I don't know.
I mean, you and we can't even imagine marrying one person.
Exactly.
I just can't imagine it.
But look at the smile on his face, the groom. Jesus, man.
I can't believe Brazzers didn't offer them a deal yet.
Yeah, right.
Who didn't offer him a deal?
Brazzers.
I'm sorry.
One of the adult websites.
Oh, Christ.
Ed doesn't know about that.
That's amazing. You're right. It is amazing. So because I'm sure there'll be guys with fetishes who'll be all over that. Good Lord. And I don't know what his problem
creators of Bang Bus.
Yes.
I know I'm desperate, but this poor guy. Marry, not even a one-night stand, marrying a girl, for God's sakes. Holy mackerel. I wouldn't want to see a film of that. Would you want to see a film if somebody said, we're going to film these two? Would you watch this? I wouldn't.
I would. Not for sexual
for research?
But I would definitely want to see what the hell's going on down there. See, they have 3 legs. It looks like there's a lot going on there.
It looks like a 2-headed girl. That's what it looks like. I don't know. I don't know how many vaginas they have.
Yeah.
That would be sick if they only have one vagina. Maybe they do. Oh, good Lord! Why did I even bring that up?
See,
well, we already talked about the 0.2 version so it's something.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. That'll help the math.
Good Lord. Conjoined
Well,
twins.
they share a body, so there can only be one vagina.
That's what I'm thinking. They're gonna
Do they both get the sensation?
oh God, this is horrible. Because the same Al Goldstein ain't alive. He used to run Screw magazine back in. He would have offered millions of dollars. Al Goldstein.
The one girl gets mad at the other one because she ends up giving the guy oral while
Oh
she's
my!
sleeping.
Oh my
That's
God.
my husband.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God!
just, crazy.
He has got to be some kind of piece of work to get involved in that. Good Lord! I mean, unless you want to brag to your friends, you're constantly having threesomes. That's the only thing I can think of. My God, that poor bastard. Jesus, what is he thinking? Oh my God!
So they share everything. They only have two boobs, everything. So they would have to both feel it, right?
It just sounds awful.
What happens?
That would be my nightmare. I'm disappointing two women at the same time.
Exactly.
I mean, even for me, that's a lot. Holy cow!
Hey, buddy, do you ever have a threesome? Every day.
There we go.
Holy,
Exactly.
exactly. Holy, what is his?
Yeah, that is wild.
If they invite, good Lord.
And they both look happy. Like you'd think one girl would look pissed off, right?
You do.
They both got big smiles on their faces.
Oh, for the picture.
Yeah, maybe for the picture. I remember one time there was a conjoined twins, and Cancel had the joke that one of them became a lesbian country singer, and the other one was normal. leave it to Cancel. Oh, that Cancel.
So how do they like set this up like on Tinder or something? Like they have two different names. I mean, like how does it?
I don't know.
Like how do you end up? I
don't know. Where does he walk up to him at a bar and say, "Hey, do you two come here often?" How does this work? Holy mackerel!
I love all the different thoughty things that you brought to the table tonight. And the one that Jim latches onto is, how do they do that? They've got two boobs.
It is. I mean, you're right. Some porno company would make millions of dollars if they could get this on film. Because you know all the weirdos out there.
So I'm imagining the one with the on what would be you're right is the one that married him, right?
I don't even know. I don't know which one.
What about if she wasn't right-handed and she was left-handed? How does she write? Like this whole thing fascinates me. I never thought of what a Siamese twin
like
goes
who
through.
Controls what arm? Do they have to think about it in tandem? I'm telling you, like it's a you know.
I've never thought of any of this until just now. Just look at this picture.
Suppose they go to take a shower together with the husband and one girl shy. I don't want her to see me. You know,
Right?
I want to see me naked.
Like you got to wait for the one girl to fall asleep, right? Like they're probably drugging her, but no, if they drug her, they both pass out, right? You can't even.
But they share a boob, so what's you just have to like lick on the left nipple and not the right nipple?
Now, if he gets divorced, does he have to pay 2 alimonies? Or how does that work? Holy cow! This guy, I don't know what his story is.
I'm taking it off the screen because I'm just too fascinated by this whole situation.
That is sick. That is sick. Good Lord. I mean, I met some perverted guys hanging at open mics. I don't even think they would think that up. That is sick. My God. God help us. So Bob Guccione, rest in peace. You missed your greatest triumph.
So did P.T. Barnum. You know,
yeah, exactly. He would have loved that. Are you kidding?
Vince McMahon's still alive.
Who?
Vince McMahon.
There you go. Vince. Didn't he get in trouble for sex harassment or something? Did he get accused of that?
He probably did.
You better watch out for him.
I don't know.
Better watch out for Vince. So I was reading, I don't know if you read about this, that Colonel Sanders, his great nephew, he's pissed off at the KFC corporation. He thinks this is what he said. He sexualized the image of Colonel Sanders. I don't know how but he says they've made a mockery of Colonel Sanders. So as his revenge, he's going to go on either Instagram or TikTok and give away the secret 11 herbs and spices family recipe. He's going to get that's what he's going to give away. Colonel Sanders is going to give away which that might be worse for the country than Jimmy Kimmel's paid vacation to give away the 11 herbs and spices. But I mean, if you were Colonel Sanders' great nephew, would you even tell anybody? Would you try? I might try to keep that secret. I don't know if I want anybody to know that I was related to Colonel Sanders, especially if I'm not getting any money out of it. I probably wouldn't tell anybody.
Now that Colonel Sanders is so hot, you probably want to be his nephew.
But here's the thing: sexualize his image. Have you ever thought that the image was sexualized? I don't know where I don't know who. Probably the same guy who thought those conjoined twins were hot. Maybe I don't. But who?
Finger licking good.
Finger licking. Well, that's true. Finger licking good. Which is also Bob Guccione's thing. I think. Getting back to Bob Gucci, but I couldn't believe that when I saw Colonel Sanders' great nephew is going to give away the herbs and spices recipe. that should, and I'm sure that'll stop anybody from going to KFC.
I typed in Colonel Sanders sexualized, and the first thing that comes up was Colonel Sanders was in fact very horny.
Wow. Really?
Don't even want to know what that's all about.
Colonel Harlan
Slate
Sanders.
magazine.
Harlan Sanders.
And he had more than one breast because
There you go. He was a guy with more than one.
I thought he was more of a leg man.
yes. I don't see that it's that big a deal to give away the secret recipe now because like no one cooks anymore. You think that someone's going to take the time to like measure out spice? Like you have to go buy every spice. You've got to measure it out, and then you got to cook chicken. Like that's just too much work for people. They're just going to order DoorDash or order just like takeout.
Exactly right. But I don't know what he
want.
thinks is going to happen if he gives away the 11 herbs and spices. It's like you're giving away a secret that nobody cares about.
Right.
Well, that's the 11 spices like heroin.
Oh,
Like you find out
that would be how
Yeah.
great would that be if it was heroin
Just a
or
dash of heroin.
Yeah, that would be great. Oh, that would be awesome. Or LSD or something. That would be hilarious. He should just say that. He should just make it up anyway, even if it isn't.
Right.
Oh, that would be hilarious. That would be. Of course, Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it.
Yeah.
Actually, when it started, it didn't, and then they added it, and then they took it back out again. But that's one of the most amazing things. And people don't believe that. People who don't haven't done the research, they don't believe there was actually that was cocaine and coke. It's just, and actually, I think it was healthier when they had the cocaine in it. I think compared to just a regular slop that you're drinking. I think it was much healthier. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe it was healthier. But Colonel Sanders' nephew, we'll see if he there he is. There's Colonel Sanders. We'll see if he rocks the whole night. What do you think's a bigger secret? The 11 herbs and spices or the names on the Epstein list? What do you I wonder what could hurt the country more than that. I don't know. Hey, did you see, speaking of which, there's some whispers that what's his name? The owner of the Sixers, Josh Harris, his name might appear somewhere in the Epstein files. I saw that. I was thinking that'd be a shame if he had to sell the team. He went in there, out of shame. That would be awful. I hope he doesn't get his reputation and we get the basketball team back again. That would be awful. I hope that doesn't happen.
Going to trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. That's what he said when Epstein kept telling him. How come I don't get prettier girls? Trust the process. You will eventually. You will eventually. Did you see where this artificial intelligence? They're saying that it will eventually allow us to talk to the dead. We'll be able to talk to dead people with this artificial intelligence. I was thinking that's great because just what I need my parents to come back and start criticizing me all over again, start nitpicking me all over again. Would you want to talk to the dead? I don't know that I'd want to talk to the dead necessarily. I don't.
No, not an AI version of the dead. No, it's like, to me, it's like watching there's Frank Sinatra AI, hologram, something of a it's like I would rather, I like the real thing. I don't really want some sort of AI version of it.
Yeah, I wasn't that thrilled with my aunts and uncles when they were here the first time. Now they're going to come back. I don't know. I imagine if they brought the dead Ed McGonigal back to continue doing this awful podcast. That would be worth it just for that, just to torture people with more episodes of the McGonigal podcast. That's where I'm going.
But then it'll never have to end. It'll just go on for infinity.
That would be great. That would be great. If they brought John Cancel back to keep avoiding your calls when you had a plumbing problem, the dead John Cancel, he just answer the phone as often as the current one does. But I don't know. I don't need to talk. Is there any? I mean, unless you unless you want to talk to Rickles or something, get some jokes. Otherwise, I don't. You talk to Amelia Earhart and find out what the hell happened. Well, where'd you go? Where the fuck did your plane go, for Christ's sake? That might be interesting.
Right.
That might be interesting. Talk to JFK. Hey, who do you think?
You're underwater. No.
Yeah. Talk to JFK. Who do you think shot you? See what your theory is. But I don't know. Is there anybody you'd want to talk to? Dead? Anybody?
I can't imagine.
Nobody?
Nobody.
Babe Ruth, I'd like to know, how did you, with all those hookers and getting hurt and getting syphilis, did you keep hitting home runs?
Right.
How did you do that, babe? Nobody else with syphilis ever hit 700 home runs. You're the only one. How did you do it? So I had a weird experience this weekend. I actually paid $13.50 for a movie ticket. Did you know movies cost that much now? $13.50? I hadn't been to the movie in 2 or 3 years. When the kid said to me, how much? I leaned forward. How much?
I mean, I knew they were a lot. I don't go to them, but I knew that they were like what I would like. I agree with you that would consider it to be so high that I wouldn't even go. But that sounds kind of crazy.
Because I hadn't been. The last one I went to was Oppenheimer a few years ago. That was the last one. So I went to this. $13.50. I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you get 3D glasses?
Yeah, right.
Was
You know,
there
I would-
anything that was special?
You want to get a handy for $13.50? Come on, $13.50.
Yeah.
You got to get the
With
more-
extra butter.
With
But yeah, but
the
that's,
popcorn
yeah, there you
bucket,
go.
right?
See, whole no. But $13.50. I couldn't buy. Of course, I went on a Saturday night, which is probably maybe it might even be more expensive. I don't know. Somebody said they have discounts on Tuesday nights or something. I don't know if that's true, but I went on a Saturday night. And it was like
Well, of course,
because
in the old days, they would have matinee or anything before 5 would be cheaper.
they,
But
they might still do that. I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure that even now, like
No, maybe
now
not.
the cheap price would be, I would consider like too much.
Right. I mean, and I rarely go, so it didn't bother me that much because I probably it might be another couple of years before I go again. You know what I mean?
What did you see?
I went to see one battle after another. It's a new Paul Thomas Anderson movie. The guy who
Oh,
directed
okay.
Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood. It's a really good movie, but $13.50 is a lot. But what the hell? I enjoyed it. I get out of the house on a Saturday night, and because of my thriving comedy career, I
Right.
somehow had a free Saturday night, which is hard for the fans out there to believe. That I would have a free Saturday. I know, me too. But I had a free Saturday night, so I went, and it was fun. It was fine. It was a really good movie, and it was. And
How much did they get you? Did you get popcorn?
I
and
did.
candy?
Did not. I actually stopped at the. I
That's
I got there early because
Good planning.
so there was a pizza place next door, so I got a slice of pizza for I forget how much a slice of pizza was, but and then I went in and then that was fine because I got there so early. But yeah, $13.50. I can't believe that the movie tickets are
'Cause I think
$13.50.
a bucket of popcorn is going to run you another $13.50.
It might.
So-
I didn't even look. I didn't even look to see what the price. It probably was. Well, we were talking a couple weeks ago about the price of parking down at Eagles games, and a friend of mine told me that if you go down to an Eagles game, you park in one of the Eagles parking lots, it's $60 to park your car.
Wow.
And if you go to one of the other parking lots that aren't run by the Eagles down there, it's 40. Like that's a discount. Like 40 is a discount.
Wow. Yeah.
I would not go to. Once I heard, I wouldn't get down there. There's no way. And I like sports. I'm not
I
going to
was
get down
looking
there.
up going to the U.S. Open, and it said it was $40 at the U.S. Open, which I thought so that-
Parking.
yeah,
Yeah.
for one car, $40, but that's like a one-time a year event in New York
I
City.
thought- yeah,
so
that
I thought
does-
it might be higher, but $60 for the Eagles seems crazy.
Yeah, you're right. It's amazing. It's in New York and for the U.S. Open, it's probably just lower than the Eagles. Yeah, you're right. But I don't know. I wouldn't get down to play because they send $60 a park and then God knows what for a beer and a hot dog. You got to be kidding.
Right.
And I like sports, but there's no
And then
way.
the ticket to get in.
Oh,
that's
God knows
not
what
free,
that
right?
God knows what
No.
that is.
No.
I didn't even think. I was so obsessed with the parking price. I didn't even ask what the ticket price was to get into the game itself. I was dumbfounded by the $60 parking price. I used to get mad sometimes going down
Right.
Center City, like to one of the comedy rooms or something. Sometimes you'd have to pay, like $12 or something parking. I mean, like, what the fuck?
Oh.
60.
No. Right. Yeah. No. I would. I'll walk like
Oh yeah. I would try to
21 miles
I would try
to
to find.
avoid
Yeah, I would try to
paying
find the cheapest
the
parking
parking,
lot.
but right.
but
Yeah.
sometimes-
Sometimes you're in a
Yeah.
time
Sometimes
pinch.
you're in a time pinch. Exactly right. But I don't know. 60. Can you? I said, why don't the city council and the mayor? That's price gouging. But then, of course, they're in bed with the Eagles and the Phillies.
Right.
Of course, they're
And
not
it'd
going
be a
to
little
do.
hypocritical for the PPA to say, no, you're price gouging. What's wrong
Exactly.
with you?
Well,
We
that's a
can't-
good point.
We can't
too.
have that here in the city.
Exactly. That's a great point.
Now, if you bring your wife to the Eagles game and your wife has two heads, is that how do you?
I think they
that's
only
still
charge
seat,
one
right?
ticket, but you're only one
ticket's right.
seat. Yeah.
Okay, so
Then again,
we're starting
Yeah.
to see the guy, the brilliance behind the guy that
then
married
again, the NFL they might charge you too. Don't think that
Right.
don't think that Roger Goodell, if he could get away with it, wouldn't charge you for two tickets. He just might.
right.
He
Speaking
just
of
might.
Roger Goodell, I that's what we said. The NFL is obsessed with money and everything.
Oh,
and-
you think?
and like I always hear people complain about like, oh, Shaquille O'Neal makes this much, or Joel Embiid makes this
Right.
much, or anyone.
Right.
Bryce Harper. I've never complained about it because they said there's like literally only a few people in the world that can do that skill. But like Roger Goodell makes like 15, 16, 17 million dollars a year.
And you know,
that kills me.
because he's the perfect stooge. He doesn't run the league. Robert Kraft and Jerry Jones and the Mara family, they
Right.
run the league. He's just a stooge.
Yeah.
And he's the perfect stooge, Roger Goodell. So that's why they're never going to fire him.
No.
He's got a job for life. I mean, he had literally, you went into a laboratory and tried to build a stooge, it would be Roger Goodell.
Right. If you were to combine three stooges into one,
Exactly.
that's pretty much what you would get.
He's the perfect stooge. I mean, they couldn't believe when they found him. They hit the jackpot, Roger Goodell.
Right.
They went to Saudi Arabia and ordered a stooge.
Right. My favorite was when, like during Deflategate, when Roger Goodell made the decision and then they appealed And they went back to Roger Goodell to
there you
the
go.
appeal. When it goes back to him to see, well, oh yeah, no, I decided that correctly. Thank you for
But
your
again,
appeal.
he makes notice that they tell him, Kraft and,
Right, yeah,
and all
the
the
other
owners,
people
they
are-
tell
yeah.
him he doesn't make one decision. He
They just
probably doesn't.
hide the string.
He's probably not allowed to pick his own ties out. Never mind that decision. I mean, you got to be kidding, Roger Goodell. Not that I wouldn't like to be a stooge for that kind of money. I'd be happy to be a stooge. You pay me that kind of money,
Right.
I'll show up.
And he gets a cut of the parking.
There
Yes,
you
he
go.
does.
You wouldn't blame
The extra 20, the $40 for parking, but the extra 20 goes straight to Goodell.
Yeah, yeah. You see where a publishers clearinghouse declared bankruptcy? No, remember? I'm serious. Did you?
I didn't
Publishers
hear that. No, I did not.
I did not know that.
The people who the famous prize where you win $1,000
No,
for
I know.
life,
The prize
$1,000 a
patrol.
week for life. There were people they were interviewing them who they cut it off because they declared bankruptcy. So there were
That's
people
not fair. That
who
doesn't,
have quit their jobs and had
Yeah.
mortgages, and now they have no income. They were interviewing one guy. He's 61 years old. He said, "What am I going to do? I'm supposed to get $1,000 for life." And there's nothing he can't sue because once you get bankruptcy protection under Chapter 11, there's nothing you can do.
I thought that I got an envelope that said they may have already declared that.
But it's not like the lottery. You can't take a lump sum. It's $1,000 a week, and you have to wait for your payment. So you're screwed. You imagine that.
You're saying that the business model of giant money giveaways based on selling magazines isn't sustainable in this century? That just the publishers are not like cleaning up somehow?
a few people cancel their Saudi Evening Post subscriptions. I heard.
Right. Christian Science Monitor. You're
Yeah,
not. Still
But I mean, imagine how you would feel if you would sit there and you had a mortgage and all this. And what are you going to do? Go out and try to find that what a kick in the ass that is.
right. Well, I mean, wonder it's not like a lottery where you actually have a choice of
No,
you want a
no,
lump
no,
sum
no.
or an
You
annuity.
get $1,000 a week for
it's
life.
just-
That's the prize.
your only chance. So
Right.
yeah. So it's,
That's the prize.
well, it's their fault for living too long because they
Exactly.
clearly outlived the.
And you
prize.
know, most of those people were too stupid to save it. They were spending it faster than it
Oh,
came
of
in.
course,
Of course,
no.
you know that. Most
Well,
Americans.
buying more magazines.
Yeah. Most Americans. But that would be some kick in the ass. And what are you going to do? You're going to go to your friends, try to borrow money. Your friends are laughing at you. They ain't going to help you out. So
Right,
can you imagine? Holy, you thought you were set up for life, and then that happens.
Not only
The
that, the
publishers-
balloon. After a while, the balloons go flat.
Exactly. What was the other one? Ed McMahon was a spokesman for the other one, not for.
Oh,
Publishers
am I
Clearing-
confusing the two? Yeah, I'm
No,
thinking.
he wasn't for public. It was,
But
it
there-
was
but
the
there
other
was a
company.
pro- but that was- that wasn't-
Something with
There was a
somebody.
prize patrol, and they would like.
That
come
was
to your
a
house.
Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah,
prize
okay.
patrol. They'd show up there on your front step with the balloons and the
Yes,
champagne.
yeah.
Remember?
That was published, wasn't it?
I-
Wasn't
That,
I
that was
think
Publishers
it's all
Clearinghouse.
the
But he was for a competing. It wasn't Publishers Clearinghouse. Because people used to think he was.
Oh, okay.
But he was. Jim, see if you can Google what the one Ed McMahon was a spokesman for. What,
That was it.
It was Publishers?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
He was
Yeah.
on the envelope, right? Like,
Yeah.
his picture was.
I
I
thought it
remember
was
Johnny
a,
making
I'll Google
jokes
it
about
to be.
that.
I thought it was a competing company because people used to think he was
No,
Publishers.
it says it right here. McMahon Publishers Clearinghouse.
Publishers Clearinghouse. Okay, I guess that's what it was.
Oh wait, no, you are right.
Well, he wasn't.
Ed McMahon was never associated with Publishers
I knew it.
Clearinghouse. He was actually a spokesperson for a competing company called American Family Publishers.
Oh,
Yeah,
American
I
Family.
knew it.
Okay,
I
yeah.
knew it. People used to get it mixed up all
Right.
the time.
that's
And people would say things to him and he'd have to tell them. Right. That's exactly right. I thought so. But you imagine what a kick in the ass that would be. You thought you were on easy street the rest of your life. You set up, oh, you got it. Hey, you got to go out and work at McDonald's or whatever the fuck you got to work. You're driving DoorDash now.
right. Because it's like, I mean, $1,000 a week would be nice, but it's not like, oh my God, that's such an insane amount of money like nowadays. Anyway, but
It's 52 grand a year,
right.
which, but it's you can live on it.
Yes.
You can actually when they started it, it sounded pretty good. Then it probably
Sure.
went back
Well,
in the
yeah, I
70s
wouldn't
or
be,
something.
I wouldn't be turning it down or the
No,
Saudi money down. I would.
no,
I'm
but
not turning anything down.
I
but-
bet when they started it back in the 70s, I guess it was that seemed 52,000 did seem like a lot of money. But those poor people. Oh,
But that's also why they say it that way. Like $1,000 a week. Sounds,
they don't say
sounds
52. You
better,
go, wait a
yeah.
minute, that's not that great. What happened? 5,000 a week for life to go. If man loses prize, his clearinghouse goes, but 5,000 a week. I thought it was 1,000. I remembered. Maybe they
the more
upped it.
recent
Maybe
ones,
they upped it
were-
at some point.
were more,
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah,
they
does the
were-
government take like 60% or whatever it is, like they do the lottery?
I'm sure they
Probably.
do. I'm sure. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't they? Of course, they're going to take their taxes. It's not like the government's going to give you a pass. Oh, you want to publish? We won't charge you taxes. No, I never heard that one. But yeah, that. Well, what a kick in the ass. Jesus, I would. And that's the type of luck I have. No, I wouldn't win in the first place. What am I saying? So, I wouldn't win in the first place. So they're talking about these longevity drugs. Have you heard about this, Jason? You're in the medical field. You probably heard about this.
Not sure.
Longevity drugs that'll make you live. God knows how long now. They'll make you live. Would
They
you
make
want?
you stay hard longer. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, that's not.
Your body goes rigor mortis.
Oh, got it.
But what are they saying that'll make you live to in your hundreds? I guess these longevity drugs. Is that the idea?
I think so.
Yeah. I would you want that? I'm not sure if I want that. People talk about that. I've seen old people. They don't look happy. They don't look that happy. I mean, I'm at the age I'm at now. I'm not that happy. Never mind when I get to my 90s.
Looking around this table, I don't think any of us are like, man, I want to live forever.
I mean,
I'm more like, take me now.
I had aunts who were in their 90s, and they were in the nursing home, and it was miserable.
Right. You see on like Action News, it's like, oh, it's so-and-so's 102nd
Oh, God.
birthday.
And they look
bring the
pissed.
cake and like people are around them are all happy. And yeah,
They look pissed. It's like they're stuck at the airport waiting for the plane to get in. And
Right.
it's just awful. I don't know about these longevity drugs. You keep that away from me. I don't need to take that.
Yeah.
You can give my share to somebody else. I don't, what am I sticking around for? My comedy career, my neighborhood going down the tubes. I'm ready now, to be honest with you. You want to send a train for me now? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take off. Ain't much keep me around. I'll be honest with you. So we a lot of cities now. We have the National Guard being sent in. I was thinking when they sent the National Guard in the Washington D.C., they should have called them the Washington Redskins. And then you'd have the Redskins back in D.C. and the NFL couldn't do anything about it. I thought that would have been the perfect name for Operation Redskin, but they didn't do it. They missed an opportunity. Would you want the Redskins the National Guard in your neighborhood? I got to be honest, I wouldn't mind. The only thing is I've gotten used to falling asleep to the sound of gunfire, so it would throw me off. It would throw me off for a while. I don't know. I'd have to get a new sleep pattern, but I don't know. I wouldn't. I would feel kind of safe if the National Guard was there. I'd be happy to see him. I don't know. People complaining about it. I'd be happy to. If I lived in some of these neighborhoods, South Central Chicago or something, and South Central Los Angeles, I'd be happy to see the National Guard.
But that's not where they send them. You know what I mean? Like in DC, they sent them to the monuments. In Philly,
and they're guarding like Starbucks in Georgetown.
Yeah, they'd send them to Independence Mall area. Like, unfortunately, they're not going to be, walking around
West Philly
in their National Guard.
Well, you're right. That is, but if they did, if I lived in a neighborhood like that, I would be, I wouldn't be against the National Guard showing up. But I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not patriotic or something. I don't know. I'd be like, well, good to see you guys.
Well, it's kind of not, if you living in Philadelphia and thinking about like what the founders of the country wanted. It was not uniformed troops.
No, it wasn't uniformed troops. But it wasn't 300. It wasn't 300 murders either. They didn't want that either.
They didn't. But they didn't. Yeah, they didn't want a a standing army. They didn't. Let alone on the streets. But yeah, I mean, I think we're all. I agree. Or I'm in favor of less crime. But it just seems like there's better ways to do it. But then
I don't know.
It's like Mogadishu.
Nothing else has worked up till now as far as having the less crime. Right. I don't know. They tried everything else. They tried the midnight basketball and some of that. That didn't work. The midnight basketball didn't work. So I don't know. Maybe
untie local police's hands and let them do their jobs.
Right. Yeah. More police.
A lot of the local police feel, listen, why should I risk my neck? The district attorney doesn't charge people. The media is against me. A lot of them guys are walking on eggshells. I don't know. That hasn't worked either. I don't know. I'm not saying the National Guard is great, but you tried everything else. You pretty much tried everything else. And was there 500 murders in Chicago last year?
No, the National Guard is great. Like the problem isn't the National Guard. Thank them for their service. The problem is that they.
That's not like what they're trained to do, and that's not what people sign up to the National Guard to do.
That's
true, really.
And when they were at Franklin Mills.
Oh, I remember that. I saw them up there. Yeah.
And my daughter's actually in the National Guard, and they look like Boy Scouts of America. Like they're very young and very small and carrying very big weapons. Like I think that it's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed emotions about it. I don't really have a decision one way or the other, but I guess we'll see what happens. All it needs is that one kid with a quick trigger finger like Kent State, and that's going to be a shitstorm.
Yeah,
that is going to be a shitstorm. So you guys, did you throw all your Tylenol out? Did you clear your medicine cabinet? Because medical expert Bobby Kennedy Jr. And if there's anybody who's medical advice I always take, it's somebody from the Kennedy family.
Right.
The Kennedy family, most of them don't live past the 35, most of the Kennedys. Why are we taking their medical advice? The family is notorious for dying young.
They need the longevity drug.
Exactly. But I mean, I don't know about, I mean, couldn't Tylenol have a lawsuit against these people? I mean, wouldn't you think they might be able to sue this guy or sue Trump? And tell people not to take Tylenol. I don't know. I mean, how does that work? Tylenol is bad and pot gummies are good. How did we get to that point? How did that flip?
Yeah.
Who saw that coming? I don't know. Tylenol is the bad guy now. I love that.
I know that my mom smoked weed when she was pregnant, but I really think that the bigger problem was the Tylenol. She probably took so much Tylenol.
My mother, when she was pregnant, it was red wine and L&M cigarettes. Tylenol would have been an improvement. I think Tylenol would have been a better alternative. And that and look how healthy I am from my mother's prenatal regimen. So I don't know this whole Tylenol thing. I'd be pretty pissed if I was working in a Tylenol factory and the president was on TV saying, don't take Tylenol. I wouldn't like my job security if I saw that. No. I'd be a little.
Well, all they have to do is go, we're not Tylenol, we're acetaminophen. And the president can't pronounce
it,
safe, right?
But that's, I couldn't believe they were holding a press conference to denounce Tylenol in a country where pot's now legal. Okay. Things have changed a little bit.
Do it. Suck it up.
Yep.
Here's this thing. My theory. I think my idea. I think we should just leave all the flags at half-mast because there's going to be another shooting any day now. So why keep taking the flags up and down? Just leave flags across the country at half-mast. Somebody else is getting shot soon. But it just makes sense. Leave the flags at half-mast.
And you can save money paying that guy that hangs the flag.
Exactly. I mean, there's going to be another mass shooting anytime now. So why just leave them at half-mast?
I think this is your greatest idea.
I haven't had many good ones, so it couldn't be. But there's only a few good ones. But I mean, everybody was talking about Charlie Kirk. There's been like 6 shootings since Charlie Kirk. People forgot about Charlie Kirk already with this church and that, and down in North Carolina the other night in the waterfront. Charlie Kirk's in the rearview mirror already. For God's sakes, people forgot about him. There's so many shootings.
The one thing I would say about that I keep hearing about related to that is anyone watching this podcast, if you don't try to edit it. You got to watch the whole video. No edit, no selectively edited clips. You got to watch the full video.
To get the full context.
Because if it can be taken out of context, and you got to watch the full McGonigal context.
God forbid I hurt my sterling reputation. That would be awful if that. And of course, nowadays they're writing words on the bullets. The shooters are writing messages on them, which the silver lining is at least they're bringing back the written word. We talked about the kids in texting. You're actually writing in longhand, so that's one silver lining. At least English teachers should be happy.
That's the lesson that we've learned. We should all just only write like positive, life-affirming messages on our, etch them into the surface of our bullets.
I want one of these shooters to watch the McGonigal podcast on a book before he shoots up a church. How great would that be? Yeah. What great advertising that would be. Holy cow. And he's not out there. I'm not saying you're going to shoot him, but if you do and you wanted to mention my podcast, listen, I wouldn't hold it against you. I certainly wouldn't hold it against you at all. I wouldn't. See the rebooting Baywatch. They're going to start a new Baywatch TV series.
Thank God.
Which here's the thing: 35 years ago, Baywatch. Remember, it was stupid. It was trippy. It was a juvenile. It was sophomore. Now with the shit on TV, Baywatch is like Shakespeare. Baywatch is like Hemingway.
I certainly hope they're true to the spirit of the original.
It's going to be the most highbrow thing on television now. When you look at the Real Housewives
highbrow, like you said. It's like upstairs, downstairs.
Exactly.
TV today.
Some of the others, exactly. It really is. It's like it's Casablanca compared to some of the TV shows that are on now. It's not, of course, there's with the culture and the woke, it's going to be different. Baywatch is going to be.
Baywatch had a weekly audience of 1.1 billion viewers around the world.
Weekly. Hasselhoff was such a star. Of course, it's going to be. They're going to make it woke. The head lifeguard will be a woman, and the person with the best cleavage will be a guy. It'll be the woke Baywatch. They'll ruin it. They'll ruin it. Of course they will. They'll ruin it. Hey, did you read about Denise Richards? What thing she came out and said in an interview recently?
No.
After she was divorced from Charlie Sheen, she would go over to the house with Charlie Sheen just to check on him even though they were divorced, and he'd have his hookers there. and she'd end up making sandwiches for him and the hookers. Now that's the greatest ex-wife ever, right?
Yeah.
The greatest ex-wife ever. She's making sandwiches for you and your hookers.
That's
Most ex-wives
no.
aren't gonna do that. That's a hell of an ex-wife to make sandwiches for
I
you
mean, they
and your
might
hookers.
order sandwiches, but to make them, that's
Making sandwiches for the hookers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. She,
I mean, I would figure at best she'd get like Uncrustables, but if she's literally there
Making
making,
sa-
making sandwiches,
I mean, I thought her nude
that's
scene in
impressive.
Wild Things was the greatest accomplishment. I think this is. I think that making sandwiches for the hookers is pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, I
I
mean,
think it
that's-
might be Charlie Sheen's greatest accomplishment that he
think so?
managed to.
Yeah.
maybe,
work that out,
maybe. Whether he's still alive is pretty good too. You know,
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing that Charlie Sheen is still alive. That really, you see the Vegas tourism is really tailed off. Tourism in Vegas is just the town of touring. I guess because in every city you can get legal gambling and hookers in your own hometown. What do you got to go to Vegas for? There's
Right.
nothing to go to Vegas for.
It wasn't the guy that shot 70 people because the
No,
tourism
that-
was fine after that.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
that was everyone
Yeah,
forgot
that
that.
didn't affect
Who
tourism
even
at all.
remembers that shooting?
No,
There's been
no.
so many shootings since then, for
Right.
God's sake. But I heard the hookers are driving for DoorDash now out there in Vegas. They're bad shape. But they said the tourism is way down in Vegas. Well, we did almost an hour, didn't we, Jim? Almost.
Yep.
There's just one thing I wanted to bring. Since the last episode, we lost the legend, right? The Sundance Kid died, Robert Redford. Were you guys Redford fans? In his movies?
Yes.
What was your
Oh, yeah.
favorite? I liked All the President's Men. Is probably my favorite.
Me too.
Yeah, that was a great
A
movie.
lot of the Sting, the way we were.
The Sting was great.
The
Yeah,
Sting was probably my favorite. I love The Natural too.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
like The Natural.
Oh, the natural.
Oh,
Yes.
do you ever see Spy Game? That's an underrated movie.
Really? I don't. Never
It's
saw
Robert Redford and Brad Pitt, and Robert Redford plays a
Wow,
CIA agent.
No, I never saw. And what was it?
I highly recommend it. Spend the $13.50.
3 Days of the Condor was a really good
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
With
yeah.
him and Faye Dunaway. That was a really good movie. And the one that people probably is kind of forgotten, but was very good. The Candidate.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The Candidate with him and Peter Boyle. But if you know Peter Boyle from Everybody Loves Raymond, he's in a very
And
serious
Philadelphia.
role.
and Young Frankenstein.
And Young Frankenstein, but he plays the campaign manager, and it's a really good movie. But yeah, Redford, and they don't make movie stars like that anymore, right? Now
No, they
what
don't.
movie stars like Redford or Newman nowadays?
No.
They're done.
No.
No, but nobody. There's no more. I mean, these actors come along. Some of them, there's talented people, but there's nobody with that star kind of quality anymore. It's
No,
done.
not really.
But unless you tune into the McGonigal podcast and
Oh, that's star quality.
me and Katzel would have knew Redford and Newman. A lot of people have said it many times. They said me and Katzel together, it's like Redford, either that or Law and Hardy. I
Didn't you
forget what
guys
they
just
said.
have birthdays?
Mine's tomorrow, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
well, there you go.
Mine is tomorrow.
Oh.
I was trying
Well,
to.
happy birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
60. And I look good for, 60 is a new 80.
You
Cancel.
don't need the longevity drug.
Yeah, this podcast will live in infamy. For years on YouTube, people would tune in and say, somebody actually did that shit? Somebody actually sponsored that shit? Yeah, somehow we actually did 36 of these. Could be the last one. You never know. Listen, Roger, anything to plug before you go?
I have I'm raising money for the James Comey Defense Fund. So if anyone wants to contribute to that, feel free.
There you go. On the chip for that. Jason, Drunken and Gaming.
Drunken and Gaming.
Drunken and
on
Gaming.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere.
Drunken and Gaming. Jim, anything to plug?
Everything.
Everything.
I'd be here all
Comedy
day.
Trainwreck and all the great shows on here, all the great podcasts. Tune in to the sports pod I do, just what we need, another Philly sports podcast. We'll be doing another episode of this show in a couple weeks. That's fair warning.
Number 37.
Get prepared.
There you go. And if you have a garage in South Philly and you want to let me park for $20, that'll save me some money. Folks, thanks. We'll see you in the next.
It's America's Stupidest Podcast. Think NPR for dummies. This is the McGonigal Podcast.